title of the show at the last minute. We changed it. Here we go. We are live from Palm Springs, California, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Sorry, we are a little bit recovering from this shocking breaking news. That is coming from one of Trump rallies today in Pennsylvania, where there has been apparently a assassination attempt to our former president. This is pretty shocking, no, Christy? What's your thoughts on this?
I'm shocked, like everyone.
We will be analyzing immediately the videos that we have of the event. This event, of course, was one of Trump's rally in a moment of great tension, though. For the last few weeks, there has been indicators that this might happen. And I tell you why. Basically, there was more than one Democrat and also people abroad inviting this kind of situation to happen. I mean, this is incredible, but this is actually what has happened. For some reason, we are not broadcasting on X at the moment. I don't understand why we are having problems on X. We might just reattempt a broadcast on X. Just a second, guys. We will be back in a second in the studio for you. Okay, here we go with what happened today. We are living definitely in unusual and scary times. What has happened today is definitely something that will change the course of history. This is the first assassination attempt on an American president since Ronald Reagan, if you remember, and before him, of course, the successful one with John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Now, let's go and check immediately what happened. But before that, Christy, of course, wants to mention the sponsors who make possible today's broadcast.
Okay, thank you guys for sponsoring the show this week. We have Bruce Kodish, Mel Garzada Minta, Robin Jordan Rico, and David R. Cameron. I hope I said that okay. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you sponsoring the show.
Absolutely. We appreciate those who sponsor the show and also those who purchase my books, Christie's books. This makes possible today's broadcast. So here we go with what happened today at Trump's rally in Pennsylvania.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Move his hair. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. You ready?
Okay, we are watching live at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage.
Guys, this is basically making news in real time. We have a direct connection, apparently, to Antifa and a guy called Mark Violet. Now, we want to stress that this is information which is coming in right now as we are talking. But welcome to the Leo Zagami show. Anyway, we are really glad that Trump is well. He's at the hospital at the moment. His son has just talked saying that the father is in good spirits. However, of course, he's still in hospital. He's been curated for what has happened. No? He apparently got shot on the side of the head. This is really bad news. I think not for us, because Trump hopefully will make it no problem, and he will be back on the campaign trail very soon. But this is bad news for the Democrats. This is bad news for the Democrats, especially if this connection with Antifa is proven. Remember that the shots were basically shot from outside the security perimeter, so from a sniper that was immediately killed. Let's go and check what has been published on the internet, of course, in the last few minutes regarding this sniper. We have, of course, the confirmation that he has been killed, but we also have a video showing the shooter dead on the rooftop where he was apparently positioned.
Yeah, we can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy looks dead.
Now they have shot this piece of shit, and of course we are broadcasting live at the moment on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. We are managed now to access X, and the second part of the show will be broadcast exclusively on X and Rumble, so we can avoid any censorship. However, apparently Mark Zuckerberg has lifted all restrictions for Trump and his supporters. This was information that came in the last 24 hours. But like I said a moment ago, last week, I was about to tell Christy, let's do a show about who wants to kill Donald J. Trump. In the end, I decided to do something different. And today, actually, I had the confirmation that my decision was a positive one, because Viktor Orban went to visit Donald J. Trump after conducting this peace mission that brought him from Kiev to Moscow to Beijing. And so that wanted to be the theme of today. I want that to be the theme of today. But however, this is breaking news. This is breaking news that we have to absolutely follow. And so let's see who is this guy who they claim is behind this assassination attempt. Apparently, he has been identified as Mark Violets. Mark Violets, an Antifa member. And this is at least the information that we have at the moment. We don't really know. We don't really know much yet about this whole thing. But of course, Mark Violets, in an old video, was actually saying things against Donald J. Trump. We don't know yet how many people have been involved in this assassination attempt. But one thing we know for sure, that this guy that apparently they are talking about is actually a supporter of Rome team, which is traditionally a left-wing team.
Did you say Rome?
Rome,
Italy?
Rome, Italy. Now,
is he Italian?
That's what we are trying to understand here. A lot of people. Okay, so I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to translate it from Italian. I'm going to now put it for you to see. of course, we don't know yet. We don't have yet confirmation because we have to be. But if this was confirmed, that a guy from Antifa, from Rome, tried to assassinate Trump, well, this will confirm once again, will give me once again confirmation of why I abandoned the Italian citizenship of that nation of communists and idiots. Because at this point, you know, if they try to kill Trump, and that seems to be the case, well, then we need to show our viewers. So let me see if I can quickly, in real time, get this video downloaded in high quality so I can get you the actual video here in high quality. I repeat, this guy talks in Italian in this video. He makes threats in the Italian language, and for that reason, people have asked me to translate it because, of course, they want to know what this guy was saying. So I don't seem to be able to download it, but I am able to broadcast it for you and show you what this guy was saying. So let's go and check. I repeat, if it's confirmed that this is the case, well, shame on Italy, and this is definitely the moment we need to unite against these pieces of shit.
Adesso basta, lo dico chiaramente una volta per tutte. Adesso basta, lo dico chiaramente una volta per tutte. Adesso basta. Lo dico chiaramente una volta per tutte. Adesso basta.
Okay, so what he's saying here is repeated over and over again. The guy, Mark Violets, seemed to be talking Italian perfectly without any accent. So is he a dual?
Lui è italiano.
Seems Italian. He says he's tired of Trump. It seems to be though.
He said basta.
Adesso basta.
Adesso, now enough.
Adesso basta. Lo dico chiaramente una volta per tutte. Adesso
I
basta.
say clearly
Lo
this
dico
for
chiaramente una
everyone.
volta per tutte.
Okay. Now, I can translate you what he said. But,
Say it.
you know, he says, adesso basta means enough now. But like I said, who is this guy?
He said he's speaking for everyone.
Let's go on his, eventually, if we have the possibility to go on his Twitter, of course, that will be of help. Listen, guys, I was naturalized this year, and as you know, I had to flee a communist country full of people like this. Okay? A country in which there is whole areas in the hands of Antifa. I remember when I used to go past this specific area of Rome, and there was these writings on the, you know, this is Antifa, you know. So Antifa is well established in Rome, but who is the financiers of Antifa? It's Soros. So let's not trick ourselves. Definitely, there is the possibility of an involvement of Alex Soros behind the scenes, of the Democrats, the fact that Antifa has been over and over again protected by the Biden administration. Let's not forget that Kamala Harris has even got involved herself personally to free Antifa members when they were protesting and other stuff. So let's check out yet if there is other information that we can gather on this Mark Violets. Now, what I'm showing you comes from the Kansas City Defender. So let's see what they are saying. It's 15 minutes past the hour. We are broadcasting live from Palm Springs, California, and we are trying to bring you in real time information regarding this event. Now, it seems like Joe Biden is talking at the moment. So let's see if we can get the speech of sorry guys, we have a very modest technical means here, so we are trying to bring you all this in a moment of great excitement, of course, from us, because we are trying, to make this happen for you, to make you understand what is happening. But at the same time, we are saddened by the fact that there might be really the involvement of bad people here, foreign actors even. We don't know really. So what do you think?
What did that video say with that guy in it? Was it just like 2 seconds and he just said "Basta adesso, basta adesso"?
And
then he said "Lo
oh, yes, I mean, just a second, because here we seem, I'm trying to see if I can get the statement that was made just a few minutes ago by Joe Biden. If I can manage to get the statement, of course, Obama, Biden, and all the Democrat front is trying to play nice now. Is trying to wish Donald J. Trump,
Sure.
Let's not forget, though, they were the ones inciting this violence against Donald J. Trump. They were the ones inciting against Donald J. Trump, and there was even a BBC speaker, journalist who was kicked out of the BBC because he invited actually people to kill Donald J. Trump. So he was kicked out of the BBC. This is the first images I could get of Joe Biden talking about it.
Number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened they learned any more in the last couple hours? So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Assassination.
I don't know enough to, I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried with the security failing, Mr. President?
President Biden with a short statement there. Again, he's in Rehoboth, Delaware for the weekend, but released a statement earlier tonight, but coming out.
So this was just a statement made a moment ago by Joe Biden. We are, of course, trying to bring you all
We're
the
doing it, Amari. We're not trying. We're doing it.
We are doing it, but we are doing it in a way that, I mean, I had prepared a show.
Oh, yeah, he's kind of just because he had another show prepared, and then we changed
which is important because today Dmitry Peskov announced that European cities might become legitimate targets of Russian missiles. This is, of course, a very important statement. I also wanted to invite everybody who has been distracted by all this Joe Biden discussion on the fragility of Joe Biden, which we have debated for years here on the Leo Zagami show. And of course, most conservative outlets have denounced for years the fragility of this candidate. But the problem is, while we were all focusing on Joe Biden, NATO is moving closer and closer to the expansion of this ongoing Third World War. And at the same time, we have Russian and Chinese ships in the Pacific, Chinese ships in front of Alaska. We have Belarus, which is next to Ukraine, with Chinese in Belarus. I mean, guys, the situation at the moment doesn't look good because Joe Biden is bringing us closer and closer towards a Third World War. And that's why I wanted to discuss all this. I mean, Chinese and Russian ships that are joining forces together. These are basically simulated. I mean, these are, of course, exercises are what are known as war games, but they are basically based on a possible invasion of the United States by all his enemies. This is Russia and China in the South Pacific.
Okay.
And on top of that, like I said just a moment ago, we had in front of the coast of Alaska Chinese Navy ships. I mean, this is becoming...
Tonight for more action by the U.S. military to beef up Arctic security after 4 Chinese military vessels were spotted in Alaska waters. Georgina Fernandez has details for us about where they were, what they were doing, and the U.S. response.
So, I mean, guys, as we are being distracted by Joe Biden, and now we have even an attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump, there is the real possibilities that the enemies of America are gathering momentum so they can plan a invasion or an attack on U.S. soil. And this is because we have a criminal in the White House. Now, he might have played nice now. No, he might have said, oh, I'm sad and this and that and all the other. We will look into it. They are yet not confirming, of course, who is involved in this assassination attempt. But I want to go immediately and show you what is coming to life on the internet at the moment regarding this assassination attempt, because I mean, if it's true that Antifa is involved, and there is the involvement of an Italian even in this whole thing, well, this confirms everything I've been telling you for years. Italy is a dangerous country. It's harboring terrorists. This means Italy is harboring terrorists. This is really bad for Italy, for the NATO alliance, because, I mean, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's not the case. I hope that this assassination attempt was maybe led by a crazy man on its own, but it seems like the connection with Antifa makes it very, puts it in a very different perspective, because Antifa is an organization that has been tolerated for way too long. These people are terrorists. The Democrats are terrorists. This is the truth. The Democrats are terrorists.
I wonder if he flew all the way here, and if he flew here from Italy to do this. Do you think?
Well, we are
like, how did he get the guns and stuff?
Well, that's because if he had the support of Antifa,
well, I mean, he flew from Italy to come here because he speaks Italian, so he's not an American Italian.
He speaks Italian.
It's got Roma Milan on his thing. It says it right there, Roma Milan. He's Italian.
It's definitely.
But there's a lot of like bad people in Italy all over the place. So
I mean, we yet don't have confirmation, but we know that Mark Violets is an Antifa member. Is Mark Violets an Italian Antifa member? Well, that is something that we would like to know, because at that point it becomes really personal. I mean, these people, these so-called anti-fascists, were the people who basically pushed me to leave Italy, and I'm proud though to no longer be an Italian if that's the case. And at that point, I invite American intelligence forces, American military to go into Italy and hunt down these fuckers, because you are basically creating in Europe the ideal basis for a bunch of terrorists, left-wingers, anarchists, and so on. This is the truth. This is the truth. So we don't yet have the ultimate confirmation, though. So that's why we have to be a little bit careful. But what is your thoughts, Christine?
I'm just glad that Trump, he seems to be okay. You
Well,
know?
yeah.
And I think it was really valiant of him after he got shot to stand up and do a fist pump. You know, it just shows his spirit. And I'm really sorry this happened. And I'm sorry this happens for Americans, because we're already so divided, and this isn't going to help anything. It's just going to make things worse. I mean, we feel like we've been attacked. So all of us feel like we've been attacked. I feel like my father got shot tonight. I mean, it was just like that. I was just so shocked that he got shot, you know. I just reacted like, oh my God, oh my God. So, I mean, like everyone, we're just shocked right now that this happened. This doesn't happen in America anymore. Well, now it is.
Well,
it's so bad here. So what do you think?
The situation definitely leads us to think that at the moment they're still looking into the fact that this guy was or not a lone wolf?
Yeah.
Lone wolf, or if he had.
And then we don't know how many people got hurt, if other Trump supporters got hurt or anything. I mean, I heard a couple did.
Yes, we know that at least one bystander was possibly killed. We know that there might be others injured. This was the actual shooter himself that was standing on a rooftop, probably outside. What I heard is that they were, of course, protecting Trump within a security perimeter, and that these shots were shot from outside the security perimeter. So now all the next events for both Biden and Trump will have to be readjusted to the new security, because if it's true that this is an Antifa member, of course, then there will be a reaction on the other side, and this will lead to a possible civil war in no time if we continue like this. This will destroy the American dream. So we have
but that's what they want.
But that's why we have to stop. That we have to stop and take a deep breath and say, okay.
What would Jesus do? Jesus would be pissed off right now.
Well, like I said, we don't want America disunited. I think this could be an opportunity to unite America, because Trump is definitely going to win these elections. And I tell you why Trump is going to win these elections now for sure. Because a similar thing happened to Bolsonaro in Brazil. He was actually injured much worse than Trump. He was stabbed severely before being elected and becoming president of Brazil. He's no longer president of Brazil because, of course, the globalists managed to then replace Lula, who is a Jesuit-driven criminal, as president of Brazil. But Bolsonaro won the elections immediately after this accident. And I think that the similarity, I mean, Bolsonaro is a dear friend of Trump, he's a Trump supporter, his policies are similar. And of course, there is the possibility that this will definitely lead to a victory by of Donald J. Trump. The shooter was on a rooftop. We have showed you what happened. The images, of course, that we will probably see for many days to come are really incredible. Now, like I, of course, said even in the title of this video, the Democrats wanted Trump dead, and of course, who are their favorite killers these days? The deep state might have used the mob back in the days of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, but they mainly used also somebody similar to Antifa. I mean, if we go and see the main killer of John Kennedy, of Kennedy back then, it was a guy who liked communism, who was close to communism. I mean, communism and Antifa are ideologies that shouldn't be allowed in the United States of America. You have to understand this. We are too tolerant here in America towards this kind of ideology. This ideology should have no place here in the United States of America. Antifa should be immediately deemed a terrorist group and should be hunted down just like ISIS. This is what should happen. They shot various times, because we see here, it's not just, it's many times. So, I mean, here is not only one gunshot. There is a series of gunshots. There is probably a few people that have been injured. Antifa, by the way, is the typical product of the Frankfurt School, is a typical product of leftist ideology that has ruined the American dream, who has transformed our cities in hellholes, who has led this invasion at the southern border. This is what is happening here. American dream has to fight against these criminals, and these criminals are unfortunately tolerated and even encouraged here by the left wing. That's the truth here. I mean, we have Joe Biden, who now might play the good guy, but he's not really a good guy. And on top of that, he doesn't want to leave the White House because Jill and Hunter Biden are apparently not willing to leave in any way the White House. This was confirmed by the daughter of McCain in a recent TV show. Check this out.
My home state of Arizona, which was going to be sort of swing state, I was just in Arizona, Trump stuff everywhere. And I drove from Phoenix to Sedona, which is about a 3-hour drive, and everywhere, Trump stuff. I didn't see one Biden thing. So why do you think that they're denying reality in front of us?
Well, this is partly, I think, when you spend too long assuming that the alternative is so bad that no one would turn to him, right? Which is what they've done as a party. They've said, oh my gosh, like this is monstrous. Who would ever vote for him?
But I do want to ask you about Jill. I feel like this is like, we have to talk about Jill, honestly.
Yeah,
so
the door has opened.
Yeah, it's like we have to talk about Jill.
I used to be more restrained about it, but I think we could all agree that we can talk about Jill.
She's doing this to herself, and I no longer feel weird. Again, I actually did an episode where I talked about how much I love first ladies, and I really had no problem with her up until recently. So the first thing the Biden family decided to do after the debate was pose for a photo shoot for Vanity Fair with Annie Leibovitz, which I know there's nothing the American public appreciates more than a photo shoot with Annie Leibovitz.
Reaching those middle-class voters.
The inflation worry people. And she's in the aftermath of it, they released her Vogue digital cover where she looks basically like she's in a nurse's outfit. And in the article, she's talking about how much she loves power. This is psychotic. I don't understand any of it. And all the reporting coming out of Axios, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Politico is saying that she and Hunter are the driving forces behind not stepping down.
I'm not sure that any of the Biden family is really close to a lot of other folks, because it's all just imagining how could we get in touch with Hunter and Jill. And I think Hunter and Jill are in touch with Joe, and it's just like this very minimal inner circle is what it seems like.
It's like very inside the walls of the Bastille before it was stormed. Like that is the energy they're giving. I'm going to tell you some gossip I've heard, and I don't know if you've heard the same.
I'm excited.
Okay. The gossip I've heard is that big donors are really pissed, and that they're going to still give tiny bits of money, but not big money, and that actually could make a difference for the Biden campaign. I also heard that even if people are going on TV, members of Congress, senators saying it's all fine, there's nothing to see here, that behind the scenes they're still panicked, that they're not stupid, they see what's going to happen. And then I also heard that Hunter and Jill, and this isn't a direct quote, but it's like, I'm paraphrasing, that they would literally rather let the White House be burned to the ground than leave. That there's just no scenario on the planet, White House being burned to the ground, they'd watch America burn before stepping down.
So these people will prefer that America gets in a state of chaos, of civil war, than leave the White House. Keep that in mind, because the Biden distraction of the last few days was actually to prepare for the next scenario, which is, of course, the most devastating one. And that is, of course, furthering the intention of NATO to bring us in a full-on war with Russia, which means also China and all the other allies of BRICS, and at the same time, an assassination attempt on Trump by Antifa, who, like I wrote in my books, I mean, I talked about Antifa and their satanic connections in volume 4 of my Confessions, if you remember, I have it here. And I actually specifically said, sorry, that's it, sorry guys. And I specifically said in this book that there might be a civil war in 2024-25.
You dropped my owl.
This is a book where, if you remember, Christy, I talk about Antifa. I talk about their criminal activities, Democrats or Democrats. Actually, Democrats or Democrats, because that's what they are. So, and I also talk about and this book was published in 2019, but I already described all the connections that Antifa has with the Satanist globalist agenda. And of course, at the end of this book, I also warn about the possibility of a civil war. Here, you see Antifa. Let me show you this. These are Antifa members with the members of the Satanic Temple. It says here, Antifa public satanic ritual to protest a patriot prayer march in September 2019. Antifa. And I talked extensively about their connections to George Soros, about George Soros and the Jesuits and how they work out, and Antifa, another mask for Satanism. This is volume 4 of my Confession. So everything that you see manifesting right now was already discussed in my book. And unfortunately, most of the times I'm right. That's the problem. American Renaissance 2.0 and the last prophecy of the old Indian. This was the last chapter of the book here. And like I said, it was written in 2019, but what I discussed and the possibility of a civil war seems to be, unfortunately, a reality. So if you get volume 4, you can understand all the connections that Antifa actually has with the Satanic Temple, with real Satanists. We're not just claiming they are Satanists. No, they are real Satanists. That's what they are. Now I would like to show you what Vladimir Putin has said in regards to BRICS and to NATO, and what they are basically doing by having this confrontation with Russia, this confrontation that is not bringing anything possible. Now, I know that everything at the moment is focused on Donald J. Trump, but Viktor Orban has actually gone back to Donald J. Trump in Mar-a-Lago only a couple of days ago after the NATO meeting to discuss this whole situation. So let me show you in the meantime what Putin said.
that the efforts of the BRICS countries and other members of this organization and our supporters clash against the forces of the so-called golden billion, the countries that oppose us. Their elites are working against the interests of their own peoples, and in fact today they're trying to enshrine a kind of order, a rules-based world order, rules that no one has seen, no one has ever discussed, and no one has ever passed or accepted those rules. These rules are written and adjusted every time in an ad hoc manner to suit a situation as it stands. It is done by people who believe that they are special and they have the right to dictate their will to the rest of the world. This is very much in tradition, in the vein of traditional colonialism.
Now, like I said, Viktor Orban went to Kiev, went to talk with Vladimir Putin, went to Beijing and talked with Xi Jinping, and then he went back to Donald J. Trump. Like I explained last week, this peace mission started in March. Remember that the military-industrial complex and Biden don't want this peace. And Antifa, of course, works for them just as they work for George Soros. These are all scumbags that, of course, are ruining America. And now they are even trying to kill President Donald J. Trump. Let me show you what happened with Viktor Orban a couple of days ago on his peace mission with Donald J. Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Kijev és Moszkva után a békemisszió harmadik állomásáról, Pekingből jelentkezem. Most ért véget a találkozom Xi Jinping elnök úrral. A háborúban a végső szót persze a háborúzó felek mondják ki, de döntő befolyása van három világhatalomnak, Kínának, az Egyesült Államoknak és az Európai Uniónak. Ők is befolyásolják, hogy mikor lesz vége ennek a háborúnak. A háborúzó felekkel történt találkozómat követően ezért jöttem most el ide, Pekingbe. Xi elnök úrral megvitattuk a kínai béketervet. Kína az egyetlen világhatalom, amely kezdetektől és egyértelműen elkötelezett a béke mellett. Ez fontos Magyarország és fontos az egész Európai Unió számára. Xi elnök úr ma világossá tette, hogy folytatni fogja a béke megteremtésére irányuló erőfeszítéseit. Nem vagyunk egyedül, mi is folytatni fogjuk a munkát. Washingtonból jelentkezem, itt folytatjuk a békemissziót, most ért véget a találkozom Erdogan úrral, Törökország elnökével. A legfontosabb téma persze az orosz-ukrán háború volt, amely ahogyan az várható volt, minden eddiginél brutálisabb új szakaszába lépett. A napnál is világosabb, ha véget akarunk vetni a szenvedésnek, békére, békekezdeményezésekre lesz szükségünk. Törökország már a háború során bebizonyította, hogy a béketeremtés megkerülhetetlen szereplője. Erdogan elnök úr volt az egyetlen sikeres államférfi, aki tető alá tudott hozni egy orosz-ukrán megállapodást a Fekete-tengeri gabonaszállítások ügyében. Elnök urat arra kértem, hogy támogasson bennünket a békemissziónkban. A háborúzó felek álláspontja továbbra is messze van egymástól, de ha a béke barátai összefognak, együttes erővel megtehetjük a következő lépést a béke irányába.
Thanks to the Economic Times for this clip that basically summarizes the peace mission of Viktor Orban we discussed last week. And actually, like I said at the beginning of the show, my intention was last week to discuss the possibility of an attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump, because I never thought they will eventually accomplish that. But the problem here is that today what happened in America is really the end of a dream of peace amongst Americans. Americans now are divided and they can either unite all together under Donald J. Trump and, of course, under a form of politics which is socially acceptable and not criminal, or the divide can become even further. And of course, if we continue like this, inevitably we will end up in a civil war, a scenario which we will hopefully avoid, and most of you will hope we can avoid, I hope. But at the moment we are broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble, and we were discussing here with my wife, and we usually divide the show in two and broadcast the second part exclusively on X and Rumble. However, due to the extraordinary nature of today, we maybe will stay broadcasting on Facebook also on YouTube. Guys, if I say something that the algorithm doesn't like, well, let them censor us. This will one day become a badge of honor for us. The fact that we had 17 channels closed on YouTube since October 2020. I think that though we need to understand that there is the possibility that this event actually unites Americans. That makes the Democrats understand that they are on a path of collision with a massive force of patriots that will kick their asses. Because if these Antifas are, the people who basically they are aiming.
We all took the higher road on January 6th. I mean, we all saw what happened with that.
Let's go and check out here. I want to see if we can show also some other info. This is a BBC interview with a guy outside the security perimeter who claimed he saw the shooter before he fired. So this might be of interest for us. Let's go and check.
So we had a party here. You can see behind us.
Very low the volume.
Right now, here we had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know, but we noticed the guy crawling on the roof of the building, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof, and he had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, oh, you know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why did they not pull him up the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, you know, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing like this. And next thing you know,
so you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there
for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time we were standing by that tree.
Did they
binoculars?
Did they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way that the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't know who he's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot him.
Absolutely.
BBC.
You saw that happen?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle pointing around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if there is a rifle of some sort, I wouldn't know, you know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So, how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, you know, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why the guy who we're standing there pointing now to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security permit. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not in every building here?
There's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about it.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, you know, patriotic.
But what's the significance of it?
No, she's just he had to take us on a horse.
All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. It was a terrible thing. And you should stay safe with your family.
Okay, so this is the BBC basically. Sorry for the quality because it's an external, somebody filming the BBC with the camera, so the audio is not that great. But definitely was a powerful witness, eyewitness of the events. Let's not forget that the guy was eventually found on the rooftop, and this happened happened just a few moments after his head was blown. His head was literally blown by the Secret Service. This is, of course, the remains of the
We can see the guy there.
the guy who attempted to kill Donald J. Trump.
Because the guy he looks dead. Tá vendo?
So it's definitely him on the rooftop. Now, we don't know if he was a lone wolf, if he had other people. Now, we had been discussing with you the possibility of the involvement of a guy called Mark Violet. There is no confirmation about this, but there is definitely some interesting line of questioning that is being put through from the mainstream media. So let's check out this article, which is from Kansas City Defender. It says here, Christy, would you like to read what they're saying?
In a dramatic turn of events at a Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, right-wing social media accounts are circulating unverified claims that the shooter, who they claim to be named Mark Violets, is linked to Antifa. Despite lacking credible evidence, these conspiracies are spreading rapidly in the wake of what officials are calling an assassination attempt. This moment will have profound and historic political implications.
So here we have the mainstream media doubting the fact that this Mark Violets or Antifa are involved. But there is, of course, credible evidence that this was an assassination attempt, so that we can confirm. We are broadcasting today on July 13th. July 13th. Number 13th seems to be always reoccurring in this kind of dramatic situations. No, it's a number that since the Knights Templar seems to curse, especially people in Anglo-Saxon countries and here in America, give a lot of importance to the number 13, which means death, basically. No, Christy?
Well, it was death to that Antifa guy.
It was death for the Antifa guy.
I hope that, I don't know, because we did the show right when it was breaking, and so then we had to come on the air. So,
well, we are still monitoring all the
the
information that is coming out right now. The individual shooter that apparently was involved is now dead. It was found on the rooftop. We have just showed all this. The Secret Service reacted immediately. Of course, and like the guy who was interviewed by the BBC, they blown his head. Will we know the truth, though, now? Will we know who is behind him? Because this seemed to have been almost a JFK-style assassination attempt. Were there also other people involved? Like the guy said, why didn't the Secret Service place anybody on the rooftop being so close to Trump? And this guy also, to get Trump here, even if probably his intention was to get him in the head or on his body rather than on the side of his body, that means that this guy was a sniper. Because, I mean, you cannot shoot somebody from outside the security perimeter, from on top of the roof of a building without being a sniper. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right.
That is now let's go and check some images that I found of interest that the mainstream media is not so much focusing on, and we might focus for you. These are images that, of course, have been shot, and there is also something that I want to show you from Truth Social. This is, of course, a post that has been made probably by Trump's collaborators, but of course is signed by Donald J. Trump. So, Donald J. Trump, you want to read?
I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country, Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America. God bless Trump.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
God bless Donald J. Trump.
Well, let's see what Trump says here today, because this goes randomly, so we don't know what he's going to say today. It's like an oracle.
ISIS has spread like cancer. Another mess I inherited.
ISIS, it's a sister organization to Antifa.
Yeah, really.
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice.
That's right.
That's right.
True.
That's right. Absolutely. And I want to thank those people who have supported us today and made this show possible. Christy, will you like to read the name of our dear sponsors?
We have a couple new names too.
Yes.
Robin Jordan Rico and David R. Kramer, thank you very much. And Malgarizada, thank you. And Bruce Kodish, thank you. Thank you guys for your sponsoring of this show this week. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's a miracle Trump is alive. We should all continue to pray for him, of course, that he stays safe. And we will keep on reporting on all the latest during the remaining of this show, including, of course, whatever you have seen in the media, but also including much more, because we try to analyze things in a different way here at the Leo Zagami show. Like I said, today I will have preferred to focus on the good that Trump was doing with Viktor Orban to avoid the expansion of this World War III, because things are really getting out of control as we speak. It's a little bit like when they murdered the JFK.
You know what's weird? It was like I was listening on the news today, and they were saying, "Oh well, Trump is so lucky. He's so lucky. You know, he had a good week, and that, you know, with the things that have been going on with Trump, and then with the debate, with the law stuff that happened with him, where he was exonerated and stuff. So they were saying, "Oh, he was so lucky." It's not so lucky.
No. I mean, I think one thing that, I mean, first of all, when it comes to such a close...
maybe somebody thought he was too lucky or something.
But he's been... Actually, Trump has been very lucky.
But he's lucky alive right now. So yeah, he is really lucky.
He is really lucky.
I mean, they were aiming for his head.
They were aiming for his head.
And they got his ear, and he only got his ear grazed. That's a miracle right
I mean,
there.
and that is definitely a badge of honor himself. He can show...
probably feels like... I mean, he got up and you know, like...
Yes,
he's great. I mean, what would you do if you got shot in the head? I mean,
this
really,
is
that's what he did at the
attempt.
moment he got shot. He got back on his feet and he said, whatever he said.
Now, let's see who was killed, though, because there was somebody who was killed, and it was behind Donald J. Trump. Trump, of course, managed to dodge the bullet, but somebody got this bullet, and apparently there was. Somebody killed. This is an image, of course, of behind where Trump was, and it says, as the Trump rally, assassination attempt with several shots, guy in the bleachers next to me hit in the head and killed.
Oh God! Oh.
So these are patriots. This is a patriot who has given his life. Trump was grazed by a bullet, and 2 people are dead, including the shooter, according to the Butler County District Attorney. So here we have more information. So innocent people got killed. People who went there to have fun, to enjoy with their family. What you know, me and Christy many times have talked about going to Trump rallies and enjoying herself together with her fellow patriots. I think that from today we should all be more proud of being MAGA, of being Trumpians, because now we have to show who we are. We don't have to be scared. We have to wear our hat We have to wear our t-shirts. We have to show with pride in front of these scumbags and criminals that we are not like them. So I'm going to wear from today with pride here in Southern California, in the most demented and leftist city full of drag queens and Satanists. I'm going to wear my MAGA hat. I'm going to wear my MAGA t-shirt. And if they dare coming close to me with evil intentions, God will strike them and kill them immediately. May this be clear for all my enemies and for everybody who is following us. We need to be finally super proud. Where is my, can you pick up that t-shirt over there, please?
Rambo's wearing his t-shirt.
Okay. So I repeat. No, it's there.
Oh. You put it on over your suit?
No, I don't need to put it on. But this will be wearing. I pick up my hat that I had for many years, because, as you know, I was one of the first Trump supporters from 2015. I founded the Italians for Trump. Everybody should have a Trump t-shirt. Everybody should go around with a Trump t-shirt and should be proud. And I will do that from tomorrow. And I will go around with my hat because I'm an American. I was naturalized this year after being basically pushed out of Europe by Antifa, by these communists, by these mafiosi, by these Democrats. And I'm now here in America, and I'm proud. I'm a proud American, okay? And I'm not going to be scared.
You got MAGA in your name. It's like right in there. MAGA, Zagami, MAGA.
So if somebody comes up to me in California and says something, they're going to get the wrath of God. I'm going to go around from tomorrow, and I'm going to have a camera with me every time I go around. And I'm going to see the reaction of the people, and I'm not going to be scared, guys.
That's good for you, Maury. I'm glad for you.
No, absolutely. Because, up until now, sometimes, you are in enemy territory in California, and, you might be scared.
Nobody was scared of anything in this house. Nobody's scared. Were you scared? I'm not scared.
But I want to show with pride my MAGA DNA. My MAGA.
I was just trying to infiltrate, so I was like doing like a deep dive cover, and you're gonna blow our cover. I've been doing the spy operation on these motherfuckers.
I'm gonna blow my cover.
But I didn't spy on them. You're gonna blow my cover.
I don't care.
Because they think I'm a freaking idiot like them.
No, I'm not an idiot like them, and I'm gonna show it with pride. And you should do the same, Christy.
I have pride.
Yeah. So you should get yourself from tomorrow a MAGA t-shirt.
I'm not a t-shirt kind of girl, though.
I know, but to get one.
I have one in my drawer. I've got a Trump shirt.
You have one?
Yeah, Trumpiani Italian.
Not bad.
I got my Italians for Trump shirt.
Okay, not bad. We are no longer scared here. We've never
been scared.
We have to be proud.
We've always been proud.
Okay, let me.
You're not wording yourself correctly.
Okay, maybe I'm not wording, but one thing is, they go around for 1 month being gay pride. I'm Trump pride. Okay, and I'm going to be for the rest of the year and for the rest of the presidency of Donald J. Trump that will start next year in January. That's how it is. Okay?
Okay.
And I left Europe to not be persecuted by Antifa and these scumbags. Okay. And so this is how it is. Now.
He takes it personal.
I take it very personally, guys. Very personally because,
I see that. Oh my God.
This is something. This is something that person.
I can't see that.
Why you can see that?
It's disgusting what they've done.
These scumbags.
It's disgusting what they've done. God. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But God works in mysterious ways, and God is fair, and God will.
I want to invite everybody who is following us. Everybody who is following us today. I want to invite everybody who is following us today to wear with pride their Trump t-shirts, their MAGA hat. MAGA is Make America Great Again. We are not ISIS. We are not Hamas. We are not these pieces
We're
of
not
shit.
terrorists.
We are not
We're
terrorists.
We're not terrorists. They're trying to make us into something that we're not. They say everything that we're not. They turn everything upside down and they say everything that you're not. That's what I've learned with these demons. They just say everything that you're not. And so they say that we're this and they're that. We're that, and
look,
what they are.
Look at.
But aren't we supposed to be like uniting people? Isn't this making it worse? I mean, you said like you wanted to unite America.
Well, yeah, but to unite
now we're
America
like-
under Donald J. Trump. I mean, what do you want to unite America under this guy here? Watch this guy sniffing children. Left, right, and center. He's a pervert.
He's yelling in my ear now.
This was demented Joe Biden that basically arrived in Michigan yesterday and went to a cafeteria where he sniffed a few children. And of course, he played tough. I think this basically could be the end of his presidency. If we thought that Trump was already winning after what happened today, I don't think this fool has a chance.
No, it just looks really bad.
Really
Really bad.
bad. What's this idiot? Sniffing one child?
Somebody who tells the truth, he doesn't like, you know how you all tell me I'm too intense and passionate. We have a little one who put his hands on his ears. I have to be respectful and call you Mr. President, even though, but we know how to deliver. I love you. I'm glad to see you are able to meet a lot of our workers. And by the way, Northville, you.
These people are idiots. These people are idiots. And they play the nice, you know, they like to be all nice, all like this. But then when they want to do evil, they use their tags. And their tags are Antifa. Antifa is their tags, they're criminals. So they use, that's the problem. Another photo that I wanted to show to our viewers, let's see if I can find it. It's a interesting, let me show it here. Of course, we are broadcasting live. All this happened not so long ago, but I think this image of Trump when he was actually on the ground is a kind of really incredible image. This is when Trump was surrounded by his Secret Service after he was shot. So, I don't think that after what happened, there is a possibility that the Democrats recover. Whether or not this was the action of a lone wolf, of an organized group, it's definitely been in the making for quite a while. I remember simply a week ago putting on the radio here while I was going. When is the last time I went out? I mean, actually a couple of weeks ago, no? And already back then, there were people talking about the fact that the leftist media was inciting, was almost inviting people to go and kill Donald J. Trump. So don't play the civil guy. Oh, we are sad for Trump. We pray for Trump. We are all united with Trump, whatever. Because we know that they are evil. Now, we want to unite this country, but that we are not fools. We are not fools. Remember, we are not fools. Was this guy brainwashed? Probably. Was this guy part of Antifa? Probably. But even if he was a lone wolf, he was brainwashed by the people around him, by the media, who incites over and over hate against what they claim is a convicted felon. Well, Trump might be a convicted felon, but now Joe Biden is basically like the godfather in a mafiosi movie because he has ordered this hit. Remember that. He has ordered this hit. The Democrats wanted Trump dead, and even abroad. I mean, there was, I remember when it was maybe a week or 10 days ago, there was a BBC, I remember, BBC journalist who was kicked out for wanting Trump dead. This is watch. I'm going to show you July 1st, 2024. So this was actually 2 weeks ago. I'm going to show you this article to make you understand what we're dealing with. BBC host jokes that Biden should have Trump murdered. So the same BBC people who went and interviewed that guy today, they are the people who actually want Trump dead and murdered. So this is the kind of situation. And Huffington Post also, Huffington Post journalists wanting Trump dead. I mean, we need to remember that these people have incited all this hate against Trump. The harsh reality of these leftists who are no longer peaceful and democratic as they claim to be. They are demons who are inciting violence, who are promoting violence, and we shouldn't tolerate them anymore. I think this is a great victory today because Trump survives, Trump wins, and we will never have the Democratic Party in power for the next 10, 20 years because they will never recover from this. Their mainstream media that for almost a decade, not a decade, but since Trump joined the presidential race in 2016 and 2015 announced the whole thing. And we, of course, I remember with Alex Jones in Rome, and Alex said, what should we do? Should we support Trump? And I said, yes, we should support Trump because he's not a politician. He's a businessman. He doesn't need their money. He's not like Barack Hussein Obama, who basically gets bought with a contract on Netflix or a book deal or something else for a few millions they can buy him. The same with Joe Biden. Joe Biden has what? Has not only he refinances his home.
He refinanced his house 34 times.
35 times.
35 times.
So, I mean, here we have desperados. These are desperados who then go and criticize Trump. This is definitely a turning point in the race. It's a turning point in the history of America. Because on the contrary of what happened with John Fitzgerald Kennedy, he is not dead. He's alive and kicking. He's alive and kicking, and of course, we hope that Trump will soon join other rallies. Of course, the security will have to be increased. The security will have to be increased probably for both candidates. There will be both candidates that will be completely paranoid about being safe. But I must say that the Secret Service acted immediately. They acted in a very professional manner. The only thing that we all wonder is why they let somebody there on top of a rooftop that was on striking distance.
Well, you would think that all the surrounding buildings, they would have.
Yes, there will be snipers, there will be security, there will be all that, no? But instead, no. It's today, guys, is the day in which Trump was in Pennsylvania, in Butler. But then we had Jill Biden in Pittsburgh, we had Kamala Harris in Philadelphia, and Joe Biden was resting in Delaware. They had to actually get him out of bed.
He looked like he got out of bed.
They had to get him out of bed.
He looked like he got out of bed.
And they had to get into the White House. Listen, get out of bed and go to the White House because there is an important announcement to make. Trump has been shot. Now, Europe and all those scumbags who have hated Trump for so many years, well, Europe will get the wrath of Trump when he's in the White House, because they are all a bunch of socialists. Europe is sinking. But anyway, Europe also is the one that insults Trump every day, that wants Trump dead. Well, those people in Europe now, well, those politicians with that idiotic mentality they will have to change, because in front of what happened today, they don't want to be on the bad side of history. So it's not about Viktor Orban now, it's about the whole of Europe that will have to say, we stand with Trump. So I think this is a unifying moment.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. I
Yes.
hope you're right, and I really, really, really hope you're right.
There is a lot of division in this country.
I don't know how.
There is a lot of division in this country. There has been the possibility.
I don't know. I just think they're so evil that they will never, never accept Trump. It's like Satan trying. Whatever. I'm not going to say it, but they're not going to accept him. They're not. They're not going to accept Trump. I don't think they will.
They will have to accept Trump because he's going to be the future president of the United States of America. And if the polls show that he was already winning after the delirious performances of Joe Biden, I mean, Joe Biden, guys, has been ridiculous. And we all laughed, of course, in the last few days. But let's check out this poll that actually shows that Trump is going well, even in places like the state of New York or Virginia. Check this out.
Of some states that historically in recent history have not been as competitive, suddenly becoming competitive. Walk us through those.
Yeah, so I'll give you two examples, because this is pre-debate polling from 2024, and look at these 2020 results. New York. This is a blue state. I don't think there's a Republican who's carried that in my lifetime, or certainly not when I was more than a year old. Look at this. Joe Biden won this state by 23 points. Look at this polling, though, that came out pre-debate. It was Biden just by 8 points. I wouldn't be surprised if that state is even closer now. Or how about in Virginia, right? A state that Joe Biden easily won last time around by 10 points. Pre-debate, the race there was tied. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some post-debate polling that actually has Joe Biden behind in Virginia. Who would have ever thought we'd see that? But the fact is, when we're looking at these states, New York, Virginia, Minnesota, New Hampshire, states that Joe Biden easily carried last time around, now all of a sudden the Donald Trump campaign thinks that they can put into play. And you know what? Based upon this data pre-debate, I believe they absolutely can.
Yeah, Virginia, at least you have a popular Republican governor, somebody that's been talked about as a dark horse vice presidential pick for Trump. So we'll see there.
So that is a good sign from states which used to be completely blue and completely libtarded. So I see that as definitely a very good sign. And of course, there was also something weird that happened yesterday in Biden's Michigan moment. I mean, he did this rally in front of 600 people. It was almost like he couldn't fill up the place. But then he had this demented Islamic woman shouting, "Free, free Palestine," completely possessed.
Free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! We working on it!
And you see what they are saying, the Democrats next to, we are working on it, we're working on it. Well, guys, they have this schizophrenic attitude now in the Democratic Party, because they have the progressive side, which is completely demented, pro-Hamas, and all the rest. And then you have the other side, which tends to be a little bit more moderate. But this happened yesterday in Michigan. Or 4 more years of what? Come on, guys, come on. And also to all your people who have been Jewish hating, anti-Semitic, Nick Fuentes lovers, well, you are on the wrong side of history. You are with this kind of people, these scumbags from the Islamic world, like this woman. Just so you know, I'm not scared. If they ban us today on Facebook or on YouTube, I don't care. We are broadcasting on X, we are broadcasting on Rumble, and I hope that next week you will be joining us for another episode of the Leo Zagami Show. We like to be speaking freely, and so usually I show these things on the second part of the show. Now, we always talked about cheap fakes about Joe Biden. Let's
not showing that cheap fake part, are you?
This is a cheap fake, now, because I mean, they were showing real videos, and suddenly they created this label, cheap fake. But we went in search of a cheap fake, a real cheap fake. Now, this apparently is a real cheap fake. Now, this apparently is a real cheap fake, guys. We finally found a real cheap fake.
Why did you show that?
Right, guys. I mean, I know we had this was a difficult show. This was a difficult show. I hope that all of you can purchase my latest book, Volume 10 of my Confessions. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy turns out to be also connected to ISIS rather than Antifa, but they're all, in any cases, groups that work for the Democrats. Either they're Antifa or rather they're ISIS, they're all part of the same show, the strategy of tension by the Democrats. Let's not forget one thing also, guys, that what happened today will also imply that Trump will probably not be able to participate to the GOP convention. I hope that's not the case. I hope that Trump manages to go to the GOP convention, even with his ear maybe. We will stand by Trump this weekend because he needs all our prayers for the GOP convention in Milwaukee. That's very important, guys.
Oh, it hurts really bad.
It probably hurts very bad. That's definitely true. It probably hurts really bad. Absolutely. I mean, we just have to pray more and more because he needs our prayers, Trump, this weekend, and we hope that, of course, the rest of the world.
Throw a prayer in there for America, please.
Yes.
We need prayers for America too.
Prayers for America.
Because we're being torn apart, and it doesn't look any better to me. So.
Well, definitely, we have these idiots who have waged war against MAGA Republicans and against Donald J. Trump for too long, and maybe now they will realize that their words were maybe too harsh.
Well, they came back on them. The words came back on them. I mean, because now they're the bad ones.
Even CNN has to admit in the end that Trump is always a winner. So let me show you the last clip of the day.
The last 30, 35 days or so, I'm not sure any presidential candidate in modern history has had the incredible run of luck of Donald Trump. I mean, from the moment he got convicted in New York on a case that broadly unified the right, and he got his big cash infusion, to the debate implosion of Biden last week, to now we know from the Supreme Court ruling today, he's not going to see the inside of a courtroom outside of sentencing in New York before November. He is on an amazing luck. Democrats were hoping the month of June would totally change the trajectory of this campaign, and it did. Now they're in a nosedive, and they have no idea how to pull out of it. He is on an incredible winning streak right now, and his campaign 30 days after getting convicted is in far better shape than it was.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching the Leo Zagami show today with Leo and Christy.
Let me get Rambo.
Get Rambo. Remember to wear your MAGA hat, your T-shirt, your Trump T-shirt wherever you go. We need to be Trump. We need to start Trump Pride. From today, we start Trump Pride. Rambo also. Rambo, Trump Pride? Okay, guys, Trump Pride. Thank you for following the Leo Zagami show today. This was interesting
90 minutes.
90, yes. I'm becoming like Joe Biden.
No, you're not.
I was joking. No.
Run out of here fast.
Okay, guys.
I don't like old men.
No, we have to be young and how you say vital?
No, vital.
Vital.
Don't be vital.
No, vital.
Here comes the devil. Oh, here comes the devil. Oh, here comes the devil.
Oh, the devil with the devil, says I.
Oh, yes.
Look out for the devil. Look out for the devil. Look out for the devil.
Oh, the devil with the devil, says I. You're so afraid of old man Satan. Now, why don't you stop your hesitating? You're gonna be a long time dead, so the devil with the devil, says I. You're always giving me the dickens, telling me that life's no easy pickings. But just as long as I have fun, why, the devil with the devil, says I. You can have your social teas and bingo for your fun. But the things I like to do, you stop me one by one. Now, even if
we are happy. Trump is alive. What happened? Bye, everyone. See you next week. No, we're still here. Woo!